Welcome to The Guide at Fish North Georgia. Brought to you by these fine sponsors. Spro, working with America's best anglers to design the world's finest fishing tackle. Nichols Lures, handcrafted to perfection. Georgia Blade, makers of premium fishing lures for over 3 decades and home to the Georgia Jig. Crypto Bass, tournament grade, Georgia made. And be sure to visit fishnorthgeorgia.com. Now here's Justin Butler.
Welcome back to another video here at Fish North Georgia, The Guide. This is Justin Butler. Thank you all for tuning in. And today we're going to talk about swim jigs. Not a lot of people throw swim jigs for largemouth here on Lanier. Not that many that I know of, at least. I know it's definitely a grass pattern bait, typically, and around cover and stuff. So today I just want to go over and talk about what I do when fishing them and how I'm getting my success right now, because this is about all I'm throwing. So I'm going to start out with the rod and the reel. I'm throwing this is a Shimano Corrado K in the, I believe it's 6:2 gear ratio, 15-pound a Braze X, Seaguar Braze X line, Conquest rod. This is at 844C. It is a 7-foot fast heavy. It's got a good tip to it and really strong backbone, and it being only 7 foot, you can really put a swim jig wherever you want it. Put it up under docks, skip it, you know, it still casts a long ways, and just a very versatile setup. This is also what I throw my jigs on. So with the swim jigs, my favorite brand as of now is the Dirty Jigs swim jig. Here's one, paired with a Kitech or a Strike King swimmer or your favorite paddle tail. They got some awesome colors. One thing I think is their skirt material is very thick. It's like makes it a bigger profile. Dirty Jigs is a good one, and this is a 2K swim jig. You can look at the skirt. I've been throwing this thing forever, and it is just mangled up. This is another great swim jig. The thing I really like about the 2K is look how thin that head is. It's really narrow, comes through structure very well, especially grass. Just paired up with that little swimmer on the back. White, to me, white and brim colored is the only colors you really need. So here's another brim profile swim jig. This is also a Dirty Jigs. There it is, little swimmer on the back. That right there is amazing. It's what you want to look for when you're getting that brim pattern, that brim imitation on a swim jig. So that's what you want to look for. I like the smaller profile because, you know, there's a brim that size is a pretty big brim. Not saying they're not going to eat it, but just saying increase your odds. I believe a swim jig represents many different types of bait fish. A crappie, I really feel like this imitates a crappie very well. This one has more of a kind of blueback. It's got the green pumpkinish, bluish tint to the top of it, like a blueback does. But it's still got that white and sparkle to it throughout the jig. But that's about it. Now, throwing it, locations, and how I'm working it, I'm pretty much running down a bank that I think that I know's got deep water close by, that those fish pull up and chase bait and kind of hem them up against the bank. Use that bank as like a wall to feed. Happens a lot in the fall. These fish are starting to transition back out of the deep water, and it's getting pretty good. So around structure, I'm just, you know, throwing it around the trees, but skipping it under docks, working it like a jig, but a lot faster. So how I'm working it is actually it's a lot of work. I'm gonna clip this up here. So I'm throwing it out there, and As soon as it lands, don't let it sink. You're fishing like a jig because you're throwing it where you would throw a jig, but you're not fishing it like one. So you're throwing it out, and as soon as it lands, all you do is you just start reeling, and you move your rod like that right there, and just shake it, and it'll absolutely wear your arm out. But just keep that rod moving. And when they hit it, it's more like a crankbait jig mix. They just come up and grab it, and you'll be shaking it, and all of a sudden it'll just feel like a sponge. And then it comes, to me it's like you're working a crankbait. They hit it, you don't really even know it, like a crankbait. All of a sudden you're like, oh, and then you feel like then you set the hook like a jig. Really fun bite. It works your arm out for sure, kind of like throwing a topwater, keeps you busy, which I enjoy. Power fishing a lot, so that's real fun. But that's about it. So hope y'all enjoyed this little quick video. Get out there while these fish are transitioning, pulling up, getting up shallower and everything. I've caught 2 largemouth last week that were both over 4 that were in the back of the pocket. So that should be a good sign to start working your way back there and start venturing out for those largemouth. Another thing, at Fish North Georgia, they have got my biggin shirts. Just got a few left, so go grab you some there, and got some new shirts hopefully coming out pretty soon. Y'all will definitely be kept to date on that. So thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll check you next time. See you.
Thanks for watching the guide here at Fish North Georgia. Our mission is to build a community of anglers to give you the best and latest information to make your day on the water more successful. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, click the bell so you'll be notified of any future content. Make sure you check us out at fishnorthgeorgia.com, where we carry a large variety of bait manufacturers from here in the North Georgia area. So we appreciate you being part of our community, and we'll see you soon.